All right, this is your review for the quiz that is tomorrow. So I am going to go through some of these questions with you for you. You can understand. You can come back to this when you need to. I'm not going to do all of them because that defeats the purpose. So I'll do a couple. I think in total there's 24. I think those are the answers. They'll have access to those. So I think it's 24, maybe 22. Oh, maybe just 22. Okay. I'll do a couple on the front page, couple on the back page. I'll make sure I do some easy ones, some more difficult ones, and then you have access to the answers. So you'll, if you have any questions, again, email me, let me know, and then you have a quiz on Thursday. So let's get to it. Let's start with number one. We'll just go easy here. So I can multiply the 4 and the 2, right? That gives me 8. The x's, I have 2 here, -3, so I can add those, right? Which means I'm really subtracting because one's negative, so I get -1. The y to the third is going to stay there because there's no other y's. This -1 has to go to the denominator, so I get 8y to the 3 over x to the 1. You don't need to write the 1, but you can if you want to. Number 4, you notice the bases are the same, 3, 3, and 3, so my answer is going to be 3 to the 4 plus 3 plus 3, so that's 10. I would leave it like this. I don't think you need to multiply that out. I don't even know what it is. That's a really, really, really big number. So we're good there. All right, let's keep moving. What else are we going to do? Let's do number 6. Kind of just winging it here. I'm just kind of looking at it and be like, let's do this one. Remember that this 2 has a 1 on it, and this -3 acts as distributive property, so I multiply, multiply, multiply. So I get 2 to the -3, m to the -6, and then n to the -12. Because all of those are negative numbers, this actually is all going to be in your denominator. So 2 to the 3, m to the 6, and then n to the 12. Reminder that I don't remember what I just said. Oh yeah, when I have a negative, remember, and I make this positive, I have to put it to the denominator. So let's put the 2 down, the m down, and the n down. Remember, if I have nothing left up top, it is a 1. And then just for the sake of it here, I'm not sure if that's going to be part of your answer, but you also could have it written like 2 to the third is 8, m to the 6, n to the 12. Okay, either of these would be acceptable. I'm not sure which way the answer is going to be written, but either of those would be fine and dandy. All right, let's skip a little bit more. Let's go on to, I don't know, 10. 10 looks good. Oh, I skipped too far. Let's go to 10 here. The 4 and the 3 I can't do anything with, right? I can't simplify those at all, so the 4 and the 3 are going to stay there. My x's, I have 3 here and 3 there. When I subtract, remember when we divide, we subtract powers. That gives me 0. So that means I have x to the 0. That means that I have nothing left. Those are going to cancel out. Then my y's, I have y to the 2 minus 3, which is -1. So -1 goes there. But because it's negative, in order to make it positive, I have to put it in my denominator. So 4 over 3y to the 1. Okay, let's do number 12 here. Again, my bases are the same. The 4's are the same. So I get 4 to the -2 minus 3, which is 4 to the -5. Okay, 4 to the -5. Again, make that positive. That's 1 over 4 to the 5. And I think you can probably do 4 to the 5. What is 4 to the 5? 4 to the 3 is 64. 256 times 3. I don't know. 700 and something, 8 something. I'm not sure. Maybe you want to leave this one as 4. 1 over 4 to the 5. You probably don't want to put the actual number down there. I don't know what it is, but we'll leave it that way. All right, let's go to some more difficult ones. Let's see, 12. That's next page, okay. Let's go to 13, because, I don't know, lucky number 13. Remember, we want to do parentheses first, so we're going to do that first. Nothing can be done in there, okay, so we are going to multiply. I'm going to rewrite everything else, okay, that I didn't touch. So 2x squared y to the -1 times, now I multiplied here, I get x to the 12, y to the 6, divided by, okay, 2x to the -4. Now, I got rid of my parentheses. That's fantastic. So let's look up top now. Let's multiply, combine stuff just up top. So my denominator is going to stay as 2x to the -4. My numerator is going to be 2. My x's are going to turn into 14 of them, right? 2 plus 12. And then my y is going to turn into a positive 5, right? Negative 1 plus 6. So now I look and say, okay, I got nothing left up top to do. I got nothing left in the bottom to do. So now I can look at the top and the bottom. Well, when I do that, the 2's are going to cancel because that's just 1 over 1. My x's, when I do my subtraction, I get 14 minus negative 4, which makes 18. So x to the 18. The y's are going to stay in the top because I don't have any more left. So now, because I'm done, this is it, I'm going to take away the 1 down there, I'm going to take away the division, and I'm going to take away that 1 down there, or that up there, I guess, and just make my answer as x to the 18, y to the 5. Let's do number 16. Here, remember, I want to do parentheses first. So in my numerator, I can't do anything, nothing there. But in my denominator, I can do stuff down there. I can do 2 times 2 is 4. I can do n plus n is n to the 2. And then m to the third and m to the negative 4 makes m to the negative 1. That is still technically in my parentheses. Okay, but I'm still going to work with the parentheses because now I have top and bottom that I can kind of manipulate there a little bit. So the 4 is going to remain in my denominator. That doesn't change. I have 1 minus 2. That gives me n to the negative 1. And I have 2 minus negative 1, which gives me m to the 3. That is still wrapped in the parentheses. So now, in the parentheses, I have nothing else that I can combine. N's and m's are by themselves. The 4 is by themselves. And then I have this 4 up top. So I can take this 4, multiply, and then multiply with that 1. That gives me n to the negative 4, m to the 12 over 4 to the 4. Okay, so now let's change everything. Let's manipulate it a little bit more. I'm going to bring that thing over here just so I can have more room to write. I'm sorry, I'm kind of going out of order here, but it is what it is. So my numerator is going to be m to the 12. My denominator is going to have n to the 4. And I'm going to have 4 to the 4 down there. Okay, 4 to that 4. Probably could leave it as 4 to the 4. But if you did want to not put it as 4 to the 4, I believe it's 256, which is 4 to the 4, n to the 4. So this answer would be okay, and I think this answer would probably be okay as well. Let's move on to get some harder ones. I'm going to skip those two. Let's do 22 as the last one, and let's call it a day after that. Okay, here we go, 22. Let's do the numerator up top. Well, I can't do anything really up top, but what I can do is I can actually get rid of that y, right? It's y to the 0, so I can get rid of it. That's gone. So I'm going to leave the 2, the z, and the x to the 3 in the numerator. The denominator, we have a lot of stuff to do down here. What I want to do first is I want to get rid of the parentheses. Okay, there's nothing inside there that I can do, but I can do the negative 4 times the 3 times the negative 1 times the positive 1 and then times that positive 1. I got a lot of stuff here. Okay, to be honest, the last 4 questions, you will not have anything like that on the quiz. So if you watch the video this long, then hey, maybe I saved you some time. I don't know. But you really should know how to do these, but you're only going to have 2 variables on the quiz. You're not going to have 3. All right, so I saved you some time if you watched the video that long. Let's continue. So when I do this piece, okay, I'm going to get 2 to the negative 4. I'm going to get z to the negative 4. I'm going to get x to the positive 4. And I'm going to get y to the negative 12. So all of this here is kind of condensed into that. Okay, now let's kind of put everything together. I still have the 2 to the negative 4. I don't have any other number I can combine that with. My x's, I have negative 3, positive 4, and I don't have any more, so negative 3 plus 4 is 1, so that's just x to the 1. My y values, I have 3, negative 12, which makes negative 9, and 2, which makes negative 7, so that's negative 7. Now let's look at my z's. I got 4, negative 4, that makes 0, and then 0 minus 1 is negative 1. Okay, so all of this condenses to all of this here. Now let's finish it up, or at least kind of go forward. In my numerator, I'm going to have z to the 2 power, because this is a 1 minus negative 1 makes 2. The y to the negative 7, in order to make that positive, has to pop up to the numerator. My x's, I have 3 minus 1 makes 2, so x to the 2 power. This is a 2 and that's a 2. Well, because they're the same bases, I can do 1 minus negative 4, which is 2 to the 5, right? 1 minus negative 4 is 5. So my 2 to the 5 actually becomes my numerator. So I don't have a denominator at all. So you probably could leave your answer like this, or we could break down 2 to the 5 as 32, and then z to the 2, y to the 7, x to the 2. So either of those would be my answer. Those are both the same things. All right, but there you go. All right, so good luck on your quiz tomorrow. If you have any questions, please send me an email. We can talk about some stuff. But other than that, work on these and should be good to go.